Hey, all right, all right. You're listening to the Dead Man's Tome podcast, a show broadcast live. I swear it's not a trailer park, but my internet connection makes it seem like it is. It's also the meth county of Texas, okay? A lot of places. It's just me tonight. SK is busy, and Tammy's busy. Is there a plot there? What's going on? You'll find out next time. I don't know. With me tonight is Dusty Davis. How's it going?
Yo, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Like I told you before, or earlier when we're starting, I moved into the garage now, and it's cold outside. I'm freezing my balls off over here. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it's cold up here in Ohio too.
Yeah? How cold? What are we talking about?
It's 37 and rainy right now. It's supposed to get about 1 to 3 inches of snow overnight and tomorrow.
Oh, damn, man. Damn. That shouldn't complain. I'm looking at 47, 50, so maybe I should shut my mouth on that one. Probably will. Man, it's been a while since you've been on. I think about like a year or so, right?
Yeah, I believe it was last December, somewhere
Last
around
December?
there.
Okay.
I
So
think so.
So for those who don't know who are you and what do you do? We'll start with that.
Well, all right. I write horror fiction mostly, along with poetry. I've been published in several anthologies and magazines. My first book collection, A Labyrinth of Horrors, just came out this past August. And I have another horror short story collection coming out January 5th. Just got put up for pre-order today.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. And what's the name of that
Just
short
got the
story
pre-order
collection?
today. The new one is it's called Torn from Nightmares
Torn from
from
Nightmares.
Terror Track Publishing. Yep.
Terror Tract. Okay. And Terror Tract is pretty
Yes.
new from what I understand, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's a monthly e-zine magazine.
Now, for those, I know some are probably curious. I'm just going to say it. I don't have any problems with Terror Tract. I don't have any problems. Look, man, I know some people have difficulty working with others because of various grudges and past dealings. I get that. But what I think works better is if we try to work together, maybe move past some of the grudges we have, especially if there's stuff in the past. I mean, God, damn.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, past grievances, just bury that. Bury that, especially if they're personal. Like for me, it was all personal and something totally unrelated. And yeah, okay. So Terror Tract, I don't have a problem with it. In fact, if anything, well, on that,
Awesome.
I checked out their first issue and I was actually pretty impressed by it. It's well edited and put together well and actually formatted well. It's a
Right.
good e-zine.
Yes, I'm very proud to be a part of it. Yeah.
In fact, let me put it on the screen right now. Wow, this turned into like a Terror Tract shill episode. Not even planned, I swear. Let me put it on the screen. Where are you? Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, this is a Terror Tract. This is what it looks like right here. So it's just an e-zine right now. Looks like there's some books. Dusty Davis. Are you their first short story collection, or they have other published works?
As far as I know, I think I am the first.
Okay.
I know she's putting out an anthology in January, also, and then the monthly e-zine.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have some pretty good talent here as well. You have John Pilasano was in there. You have Andy Rausch, Charles Lynn, Dusty Davis. All right, some good stuff.
Yep, I've been in both issues so far.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Okay, hey, so let's talk about, man, let's talk about your short story collection coming out. Torn from
All
Nightmares.
right. Yes.
So, what was the process like working on that book?
It really wasn't too bad. It's just a lot of stuff I had published. Most of it's previously published, and it was really easy to put together. Way easier than my first one.
Okay. Now, so it's a
Yeah.
collection of short stories, stuff that was previously published, and some not. Now, the stories in there,
Yes.
like which one would you say is which one was the most difficult to write?
Oh, jeez. Uh, I'm not sure. The one I had the most fun with was Dark Desires.
Dark Desires.
That was a lot of fun. All right. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's that about? What's going on there?
That that was. I wanted to do something kind of like the Monkey's Paw, where your wishes are turned against you, kind of.
Yeah.
So Dark Desires is about a woman who comes door to door selling sex toys, and
Okay.
they make your dark desires come true, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
Well, that's pretty cool. Okay. That has. Wait a second. Oh, okay. So this is the short story collection that I was reading. Read earlier. I think this year, whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the same one, but that's no problem. Yeah. So yeah. I am familiar with the short story collection. I have read through it, at least parts of it. Around that time, Dead Man's Tome was saying yes and greenlighting a bunch of projects. That it's just too much at once. Too much at once. I'm glad it found a new home. I'm glad I'm talking about it too. Look at that. That's cool. So this is the one where the girl is like this. It sounds like very cute looking. Like was she dressed as like a Catholic schoolgirl or something? I mean, that's what I saw.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It was like, how old are you? Are you 18? Come on. What's going on
Right.
here? All right. All right. So what else happens in the story? Like if they say no to the door to door salesperson to the sex toys, what happens?
Well, the middle aged married housewife, she did tell her no, of course,
Hmm.
and she ends up still finding the number one toy that she was peddling in her bedroom. And of course, she has to try it out, and
Yeah. Why not?
that doesn't lead to anything good, right?
I mean, it's a sex toy right there. You might as well just give it a try, I guess. And middle age, well, just
Right, I think so.
middle aged women would definitely do that. Soccer moms would do that. I can't think of a woman who wouldn't give that a try. So yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. You got anything in there that was I guess challenging for you to write? Something that like pushed your limits or your boundaries?
Let's see. I have a story called 911, What's Your Emergency?
Oh yeah.
And it's about a 911 operator who has to deal with the death of someone, he was sent to, try to help.
Okay.
And so he's kind of haunted by that call.
Cool. So he's haunted by the death of someone who was trying to help on a 911 call, on a dispatch call.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be horrible. Imagine that actually happening.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. Just have to deal with that grief, and the haunting kind of plays the call over, through his apartment,
Huh.
and he's like reliving it.
Dude, that's a doozy right there. I mean, I've heard some calls where, because I talk with dispatch with my day job occasionally,
Oh, cool.
and of course, I'm sure people have heard stories on the news where there's people who are on the phone. I guess they're just in a bad state of mind, really, really unstable, and they off themselves right there on the freaking call.
Ugh, yeah.
I mean, how do you live with that? What do you do with that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh.
That's what that question kind of got me started on the story. It's like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, and that's a good question to start with. And that kind of gets to the other question here is, what is your process like? Like, how do you come up with the story ideas and go from that?
Oh, just things I see in the news, bits of conversation, just
Right.
an idea will just pop out of nowhere, and it's like, ooh, what if this happened? What if that happened?
Okay. Okay. So
Playing
wait.
the what if game.
So wait. So with the Dark Desire story, were you solicited sex toys at one point in your life or something? I have to ask.
I wish, but no, no. That one was the gem of the monkey's paw.
Yeah.
It's like, what can I use instead of something different? And I thought door to door salesman. I mean, I got to have something to sell. Let's
Yeah.
go that way.
And that's an interesting modernized take of that. That's pretty cool. Any other stories in your collection that kind of have a more modern take of something classic or traditional?
My last collection did. I know. Um, I had a story. What was it called? Oh, it was Hell's Bells. It was in my first collection. It was about. It was. I wanted to do like the Telltale Heart by Poe.
Mm-hmm.
That whole, your conscience is eating you, kind of deal. So I did one like that. It was called Hell's Bells. It was a really cool story. It was set back in time.
Okay.
The guy was a grave robber digging up a fresh corpse to sell for money to pay his bills. And he kept hearing the ringing of the bells from a safety coffin.
Okay.
So
From a safety coffin? A coffin?
Coffin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether they used to tie a bell to the corpse's finger in case they woke up.
That's right. They did that because
the bell.
Because they didn't know whether or not they were dead or not.
Right. They didn't want to be buried alive.
Right. Oh shit. No. Okay. And they would actually wait. They go through all the whole process of burying a body, and they find out it's actually alive. Mm-hmm. And they have to unbury it.
Yeah.
I mean, oh man.
I don't know how often it actually happened, but yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, there has to be some time where just leave the body in the coffin for a little bit and wait, because if you go through the whole process of digging, you dig the grave, you put it in there, you bury it, you're not going to hear it then, right? And if you did, it's like, well, it's come too late.
The bell was above ground.
Oh, okay.
They would tie the string around the corpse's finger, and they would pull the string, and the bell would ring above ground, alerting the watchman.
Wait a second. When the body's decomposing, it's moving. So, like...
That's a good point. I never thought of that.
Even if the body... Okay, even if it wasn't a living... Okay, even if the dude or chick wasn't living anymore, if they're decomposing or whatever, and their muscles, like, spasms still, because they found that out. I mean, we all know that, right? That the body's still... The muscles are still kind of moving a little bit here and there. They have whole like cadaver farms in like Australia where they study that shit, and they're like, yeah, the bodies move. They move. It's creepy stuff. So those alarms could be going off, those bells, and it's like, we don't really know if they're alive or not still. Shit.
Yeah, not a job I would want to have.
No, right? Shit, man. Man, fuck it. Man.
Yeah.
So what is the your favorite story you have ever written?
Oh man, that's tough. I'm probably a story called Daniel's Game. It was in my first collection. That one was really tough to write.
Daniel's Game.
That was about Daniel's Game, yeah. It was a short story about a young couple who lost their young child.
Okay.
And the wife, the grieving mother, tried to contact him.
I'll never do that.
She didn't necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
she
do
didn't
that.
necessarily get him. Yeah.
It never works well, does it?
Never.
Just let them stay dead. Okay, just let them
Right.
live with the memories as much as you can.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, that one was real tough to write. So.
Now, of course, I'm gonna say, that sort of story is tried and true, right? There's a lot of stories that kind of have that theme, but it's a theme
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's common for a reason because it's very real. I mean, why I joke,
Mhm.
it's never a good idea grieving mothers and fathers to use a Ouija board or whatever to try to do a seance to contact your dead son or daughter. Good luck
Right.
telling a grieving mother and father not to do that, right? Because they want that. I
Yeah.
mean, Pet
Yeah,
Cemetery.
they need that closure. Exactly.
I think at this point, it's not just about coming up with an original story, but it's about how do you tell your story and make it original for you and your perspective, because I think at this
Yeah.
point, I think a lot of stories have been pretty much retold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your spin
On Daniel's game,
on Daniel's game? What
it
makes it
was
unique?
I found an urban legend from Mexico, I believe it
Oh, really?
was, where yeah, uh it was called the pencil game of how you contact the dead.
Charlie?
They put yeah,
The
that's
char-
it.
Yeah, we
Yep.
tried that on this show.
Yep.
It didn't work for me though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No?
No.
Yes, that's where I got the idea. Yep.
I was wearing a MAGA hat at the time. That's probably why. Just no. I didn't
Yeah.
have the right candy. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. But Charlie wasn't responding to me. But anyway, you found this urban legend,
Yep.
and they're using the Charlie game to find him or contact him.
Yes. Yep.
Interesting. Oh man, I gotta check out this story. Where can I find it? What collection?
That's in my first collection, A Labyrinth of Horrors.
Labyrinth
It
of
just came
Horrors.
out in August.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now is that also by
It's all on
Terror
my
Track?
Amazon page. No, that one came out with Mockingbird Lane Press.
Okay, cool. And what was your experience working with him?
It was good. It was long. took took about a year and a half to get the whole collection done
Okay.
and published and everything, editing and all that. Very long,
Okay.
but nice people.
Well, it's good. I mean, that's a good thing to have, right? At least, I mean,
Yes.
they communicated with you well.
Oh yes, very good
Okay.
editing, and we went through 3 or 4 rounds of edits and
Mhm.
very
Okay.
hands-on.
Okay. I mean, I think the most important thing that any publisher can use or have is communication, right? Communication and
Yes,
honoring your deals and contracts, right? When you don't honor a deal or a contract,
absolutely.
it's horrible. It's embarrassing, and that happens. Not naming any names. People tell me things, not naming any names, but sometimes that happens. Hell, there was a time where just recently,
Yes.
Dead Man's Tome had an issue. Well, we took on too many contracts at once. I was like, well, yeah, we're just gonna have. And some people were like, due to, let's say, personal drama that came out, we don't want to do this anymore. And it just so happened I was feeling the same way because of the workload. I was like, then we're in agreement. That's good. That's okay. But I'm glad you had a good experience with. Sorry, what's the name of the publisher again?
Mockingbird Lane Press.
Mockingbird Lane. I was gonna say Mockingbird. I was making sure I said it right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good.
Yes.
Good. All right. So, let me get your thoughts on something real fast. First, how long have you been
Okay.
writing horror?
Oh, I've been writing my whole life, but I just started sending stuff out to be published probably about 7 years ago,
7 years
going
ago.
on 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what compels you to write?
I just have to.
You have to.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just Like I said, my whole life I've wrote poetry mostly, and it's just always been there.
Yeah. And poetry is a different sort of medium, man. That's different from short stories, right? You would say?
Oh yes, yes, absolutely.
Like, I can't do poetry. I really it.
Now,
What would you say is the difference between writing poetry and writing a short story?
for me, poetry is more cathartic. I write. It's usually very personal to me. The
Mm,
things I write in my poems is pretty much me on the page.
right?
Stories, like I said, I can draw my inspiration from legends or whatever. Poetry, not so much. It's pretty much me.
Yeah, I can see that. And there's a more of an emotional connection, like what you said, a personal connection. But there's definitely more emotion in
Yeah.
poetry, right?
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
someone could write a short story based on their own personal experience as well, a little bit, and you could probably get that emotion here and there. But a poem is, and usually they're very short. It's
Right. It's more direct, more right to the heart kind
yeah,
of a deal.
it's direct but also indirect. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yes,
Because
absolutely.
it doesn't guide you, and sometimes if you are like a nuts and bolts sort of person, which I am at times, I mean, I have to put on a different hat to read poetry. Really, I have to get on the drink some wine or maybe some whiskey or something. Really, okay, let me put down the beer for a second. Let me, really get in the right
Right.
mindset here. But that's good, you know.
Yeah.
Now, why horror? Of all genres, why horror?
I blame my mother. Um,
Uh,
do I need to be laying on a couch for this?
maybe Dead Man's Tone therapy session right here. So tell me, Mr. Davis, how much do you hate your mother?
Well, I dream. No. Um, she would make me watch horror movies with her because she was too scared. Like Friday the 13th. I remember, 4 years old, cowering behind a pillow, screaming, "I don't want to watch this. You're watching it." Because she didn't want to do it by herself.
Oh, you were her safety blanket.
Yes. So I blame her.
Hey.
So from there, I just, I found Poe
Mhm.
and King and Kuntz, and it just escalated from there.
Oh, of course, rightly so. So you didn't have to worry about the
Yes.
wire hangers. There's no wire hanger story with you here.
No.
That's
No.
good. That's good. But hey, it sounds like your mom has good taste in movies, though. Maybe
Right?
she should come on the show too.
Yeah.
Talk about horror
My best-
movies.
Right. The best compliment I got from her was when I gave her my first collection. She started reading it. She's like, "I couldn't sleep. I had to leave the lights on until like 3 o'clock in the morning because I didn't want to put it down, but I couldn't read anymore because I was too scared."
Mm.
So yeah, it's the best compliment I ever got from you.
With me, it's the opposite, or it's all not really the opposite. It's more of a Jesse, you're kind of messed up in the head, kind of disturbed. Like,
Right.
what did I do
Yeah.
to you? You know?
Well, she asked me that too.
What story was that? Was that the sex toy one? She hasn't read that one, has she?
She hasn't read that one yet.
Good. Thank
No,
God.
she hasn't read that one yet. I'm debating on whether to give her this book or not.
You might need 2 hour. I don't think we have enough time to really go through the therapy for that one here. On the
Right?
on the Dr. Deadman, Dr. Phil. I don't know what I'm doing here. So tell me about that. Okay. So one thing I'm interested in now is about the Labyrinth of Horror. Now that's your first collection, right? So in there,
Yes.
there has to be some stories that, okay, let's be honest here. Every writer, every author has some stories that they worked on. They thought they're really great and amazing, but you look back on it, and it's like, man, what was I thinking?
Right. I have a lot of those.
Well, we all do. If we're gonna be honest, we all do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very hard on myself, I guess.
Okay. And you know what? Honesty is good, and being modest is good as well. You know, humble and all. Even so, what is yours?
Right. Oh, let me think. Nothing's jumping out right now.
Okay. Anything in the Labyrinth of Horror?
Let me see. Let me grab it.
You don't remember? That's all bad.
Yeah. Let's see. I got it right in front of me here now.
I like the cover, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they did all that for me too.
That's good.
Let's see.
I just now noticed you can see hands at the very end of that alleyway. Like, what?
Yeah.
It looks like a creepy pasta thing.
Right.
I could stare at that for hours.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I like it.
There's like a piss puddle right here too. Is that a piss puddle? What is that?
Sure, it can be, I guess.
Shit, it's like this. It's like an alleyway in like L.A. or San Francisco or something. Damn.
Right.
Let's see. I also have a comment in the chat from Becky. Poetry is personal, gut level. You have a short space to tell the story. It has to have rhythm and flow, and it can be interpreted in different ways. That's true. That's very true.
Absolutely.
With very little words, you get that. With a short story, or actually a novel, I would say you don't, but apparently you do, actually, in a way, because some people will go, oh, well, this story is actually a parallel for this, or it's a metaphor for that. Like, you know.
Right.
You get that. But with poetry, it's so little words. Unless you're talking about, like, epic poems, where you have, like, epic poems are full on. Really, if you take epic poems, the way they, since they have, like, when I think of epic poem, I think, like, like the Greeks, right? Like that stuff. I think, what is it?
Yeah,
the Odyssey. That's a whole on.
Yes, that's it.
That's like a cinematic universe back in the day.
Right.
But that's okay if you can't think of a story, especially in the Labyrinth of Horror. That's a little embarrassing to look at now, and that's okay. I kind of put you on the spot on that one. I put you on the spot. But which one? If someone's new to your work and you got Labyrinth of Horror,
okay,
which is the first story they should read?
So I like Daniel's Game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of my best work, and I would go with Hideaway Bride.
Hideaway
Bride. Like that one.
What's that one about?
That one's it's a ghost story.
Okay.
Kind of a reincarnation kind of deal.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So
new house. Yeah, a couple moves into a new house, kind of.
Okay.
That same old trope. Woman finds a dead body in her attic. As you do when you move into a new house.
Right. Didn't inspect the attic well.
Right. Well, it turns out the body wasn't actually there. So
yeah. Oh, look at that. I mean, the home buying process kind of leaves. I could see how that could happen. I mean, the home inspector and all that they'll do their thorough work. Oh, you have wiring problem here and there, but after all that's done, what if then there's a body? What if then someone appears? Or what if there's something like in a chest or something that was left behind that wasn't inspected, right? There's a home inspectors.
That's Hideaway Bride. It was in a trunk.
Oh, damn. That might be a story I'm working on now, too. Son of a bitch. Same ideas.
There you go.
Wait a second. Is it a bunch of bones in a chest?
Yes.
Ah, damn it.
Old corpse.
Oh, maybe I was thinking, I have a bunch of authors that come on the show and they tell me all their stuff, tell me about their themes and stuff. Maybe I was thinking of you when I was starting to work on the story I was working on for something, It may or may not be
Yeah.
for Terror Tract. That's for Terror Tract. Okay. Look at that. Oh, well, I need to change. I changed mine up a little bit. Let's see. What? Can you give any hints or details about the story? You don't want to give it away.
Right. Well, they inherited the house from a family member. And yeah, she found the body. And when the police were called to search, the body wasn't there. So,
Nice.
But it comes back.
Oh, cool. And
And it's not dead that time.
that's pretty creepy. You inherit a house, and there's a chest with some bones in it. There was a news article we read on this show before, oddly familiar, similar, where I think a dude was like going through his parents' freezer, a meat freezer, and they found in a box the frozen remains, the mummified frozen remains of a brother he never had. It was so fucking bizarre.
No.
So fucking crazy.
Oh,
I know, right? Yeah. You think you're writing fiction, but you're actually just writing the truth, man.
Right. Sometimes it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about horror. With sci-fi, you don't really get... Sci-fi is like you're writing about what could happen, and maybe one day it can. But with...
Yes.
Or maybe you hope that future doesn't come true, right? Like a dystopian future.
Right.
Which seems to be really popular still. Now, that's been popular for a while.
Yes.
But with horror, it's like, write some twisted, fucked up shit. Some demented stuff. But that shit happens in real life.
See it on the news the next day.
Yeah. Goddamn. We're fucked up as a species. Man. Mm-hmm.
We really are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Some horrible stories. Horrible things happen. All right. Now, are there subjects or topics that you will never touch because they're like too taboo or whatever?
I don't think I would limit myself to anything, but nothing too taboo has ever came up. So,
okay,
I don't want to say I would limit myself, but I don't know. It's never really came up.
That's good. I like that. Be able to explore and challenge yourself even. And by the way, hey, if you're listening right now and you're new, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe button, and hey, leave a comment in the chat. Feel free to ask questions as well. We're talking about horror right now, and talking about the getting into the topics that tend to be kind of taboo in horror lately. Which is, when I get into this, it's going to sound weird to some people because it's like, wait, I guess the big names have written about these subjects before without any problem and been published. But like, I know some people have difficulty with children in the story, being a victim,
Right.
But
Daniel's game, child
Daniel's
victim.
Game. Right.
So it makes it real.
It does.
I don't know how people can stop people from writing that kind of thing.
Right. And some people might say, oh, well, there's a good way to do it, a bad way to do it. You just can't exploit it, whatever. It's like, man, when you're writing fiction, even if it's like mirroring real life, it's going to be some demented shit, especially when it's horror, right? You can't limit it. That's my philosophy. You can't limit it. But some people, they have the reservations. What about, I'm going to test you on this. What about animals? Like dogs, cats?
I've never wrote it, but I probably would if it came up.
Be careful.
It need to be done.
That might be where you get the feedback or the outrage. Because see, you could write about people getting killed and tortured and maimed and shit. But the moment you have a dog dying, that's when they freak out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Damn, Dusty Davis. We're okay with with kids getting fucked up, but man, you killed old Yeller. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know,
Right.
you killed the family cat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I probably would. I would do it tastefully though.
Do it tastefully. You wouldn't have like the drunk uncle coming home and just kicking the cat in the head. Just what the fuck?
Is that tastefully?
No, no. Unless you're trying to show, at least show the readers that hey, this guy's kind of fucked up. He doesn't care about anything. You know, that's one way to do it, right?
Right.
You know, the difference between
I think so.
difference between telling and showing. You could tell the readers. By the way, in this story, the uncle's real fucked up. He's a drunk and alcoholic and is a awful person. But you could show it in one paragraph. You know, somehow
Absolutely.
the drunk uncle comes home. He's a little stammering around, goes to the door, sees the family cat, kicks it, and maybe even laughs. And it's like, okay, you just right there. Now the reader hates this fucking guy, hates his guts.
Absolutely.
We have a question in the chat. Do you write in any other genre?
Not really. Just my poetry. Like I said, it's more
Okay.
based on me. So, yeah.
So-
it's mostly horror.
Have you thought about it?
Yes,
Okay.
but I don't like mystery, thriller, suspense, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't keep my attention.
Mystery, thriller. I mean, I can see you kind of going in that direction, though. I mean, I can see you do that.
Right.
The-
I mean, there's
the
going to
trick with
be
that-
suspense and pretty much.
Yeah, the trick with that, I think, is what you give the reader just enough to kind of like, so they come to their own conclusions. Like, who's doing this? What's going on? It can't be speculative.
Right.
I mean, you can't have some supernatural element. That's when it just becomes hard. That's when it becomes Stephen King trying to do a thriller. It's like, okay, King, you had it here, but now we're talking about shadow people and an alien. Okay, hold on, dial it back. Come on, are you trying to be a thriller? What's going on
Right.
here? Okay.
Yeah.
So no fantasy. You're not gonna have like orcs and
No.
elves.
Nah.
Yeah,
That's not my thing.
yeah. I tried that before as well, and it's hard because I'm like, everyone else
Yeah.
has seen orcs and elves and fantasy things. What am I gonna do with that?
Right.
Nothing. So what about do you have any? You got a pen name? You write stuff under a pen name? Maybe like some erotica or something. Help pay the bills.
Dusty Davis is a pen name, but it's what I go by.
Okay. Okay.
Not really.
All right. Just making sure. If you did, hey, it's fine. It's fine.
No.
We all have to pay the bills somehow,
No.
right?
Right.
All right. All right.
Nah, I don't hide my work.
You don't hide your work. That's good.
Nah.
That's good. You shouldn't have to. All right.
Right?
So, one thing I want to ask you, maybe you can help me with this. What makes a compelling character?
For me, I like to go out in public and watch people, listen to their conversations.
Right.
Like, I have this neighbor. This is weird. My neighbor, who's a hoarder. Well, that's the rumor on the block anyway. The last few weeks,
Wait, what's her name?
she
I
takes
probably
out
know
her
her.
garbage.
Sorry.
You know her? She takes out this little tiny Walmart grocery bag full of garbage, walks it down the block, puts it into another guy's garbage can, and then walks home and doesn't put out anything on her, where her garbage should go. I'm thinking, why does she do that? What are her reasons for this? Is she embarrassed to have garbage? And like I said, as I ask myself her motivations, I get deeper and deeper into it. And I think that's what makes a compelling character.
Yeah. That would be a compelling character because I'm interested. I'm like, okay, that's pretty bizarre. Why are you doing that? Why are you just
Right.
putting your trash in other places? That's
Right?
That's weird.
That's a true story. I've seen her do it the last 3 weeks.
Have you asked her about it?
I have not.
Oh, that'd be a
She
confrontation.
stopped talking to me a long time ago.
Well, if her name is Becky, I'm just joking. Sorry. If her name is Erica, I know who she is. She lives in Ohio, right? No, I'm just fucking with you.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, then I know who she is. I will call her for you, and I'll find out why she does that.
Awesome. I'd love to know.
Yeah, I had the people watching, right? That's a good source of getting character ideas because you're getting it in the flesh.
Yes.
And very intriguing. Very weird. Weird behaviors. Like I had this neighbor
Especially
that would
in Walmart.
oh yeah. Just look, man, if you're struggling on look, if you're a writer and you're struggling on putting together writing a compelling real character, just go to Walmart and see what the everyday average person looks like and does, how they behave, and just write that.
Right.
So if your characters seem more like trailer trash and blue collar, which nothing wrong with that. Nothing even wrong with trailer trash.
Nothing
Hey,
wrong.
you know, I need a laugh.
Yeah, right.
No.
Right.
Just do that. It's I mean, you can make that work, right? Rob Zombie does.
Absolutely.
But I had this neighbor that would her dog would take a shit in my yard. Right?
Ugh.
I didn't
Right.
care. I didn't care. Her dog would shit in all the neighbors' yards. I didn't give a shit. I don't care. It's like it's a front yard. I have dogs too. Dog shit. It happens. Whatever.
Right. Absolutely.
But what happened the other day? Oh, she got pissed off because one of my other neighbors, her dog was like I guess like attacking her dog. Not even attacking. Just like kind of, you know how dogs do, right? They get all like territorial and like aggressive, right? And just got an inch to her dog. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna press charges on you and whatever." It's crazy, saying all this crazy stuff. And I was watching the whole thing, drinking beer as I usually am. I was just like,
Of course.
hey, aren't you that lady that just lets your dog just shit all in everyone's yard?" She's like, huh. I was like, I mean, like you do that, and you know what you're doing, and you're just now you're gonna be like getting a hissy fit because your dog was almost attacked by another dog. But this woman, she does it every day. She walks her dog, same time. It shits in everyone's yard. Now she has like a broken arm. She has a busted arm, but she lives by herself. I kind of like, what's happening with her, right?
Right.
What's her story?
Did you ask her?
No, I don't think I can because I think she hates me. I mean, I was kind of like 5 beers in, so I was kind of loud about the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah, but then you see people. I mean, you see people do all sorts of stuff. They're weird, right?
Right.
Like creepy dudes talking to young women at a park. Like, what are you doing? What's going on here?
Yes.
Like one time I was at this concert at a park in my neighborhood, and there was like this. I don't know how old she was. She must have been like 15, maybe 16 at the best. And she was wearing she looked like petite. She was wearing just like a black spaghetti strap shirt and black pants. And she would sit at this bench by herself, and she would go walking off to like some playground area, and then walk back. It's like, what is she doing? She'd walk back. She would walk to the playground area, talk to someone, some old guy, and then walk back to the bench. And it's a good ways. Well, I'm telling you, like this playground's like behind a gazebo and everything. I'm watching her, I'm like, what is she doing? Is she like orchestrating something? Is she like fishing for information? What is this? What's going on here? Is she trying to like get a list of people to like talk to and stuff, or what the fuck? It's weird,
right?
It's weird.
And there's your compelling characters,
right? I mean, people are messy and they're weird, but you know, when people think about compelling characters, they think about someone who's has some sort of they're real, someone that people could relate to, someone who's has dimension, has depth, you know. Let's see what I think of a compelling character, like in fiction. Okay, I'll do Stephen King. What's the dad's name in Pet Sematary? I can't remember his name right now. But he was compelling.
Just watched that in a while ago.
Right?
Yeah.
He had a situation.
Absolutely.
He wanted to take care of it, and he tried to. He was motivated. You know what his motivations were.
Yes.
Is the best intentions, but it did not work well.
No.
But had the story like not established what his intentions were, or how the pet cemetery worked, or his relationship with his family, if the story did not do that, if Stephen King failed to do that, then it'd be like, okay, why is he doing this? You got to put some depth,
Right.
put some dimension there. Yeah.
Right. Or no one would care.
Right.
You won't have a story. Yep.
Even like Lestat from Interview with the Vampire. It's pretty compelling.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
he's related for that time. He's a vampire. Is all cocky. He's what top of the food chain. He's no one could fuck with him. And then even Louis, who I've said on the show before, time and time again, is that I found Louis to be very whiny and complainy. Like, come on, man.
Yes.
You don't whine all that much. But even he was compelling, as much as I hate to say it. Like, it was a different perspective. Like, oh, he was like a vegan vampire. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to bite someone and suck their blood. I don't want that. I didn't want this.
Yeah.
Can you think of any others?
What about the narrator from The Telltale Heart?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
So he killed his roommate guy and buried him in his floorboards.
Right? And the whole story is about how he feels about it. It's like the regret getting to him.
Yes.
Man. And that's one thing about Poe. That's one of his strengths right there. He can make you feel for the character. That's
absolutely.
That's a strength right there. You do that as a writer, you have it made.
Yeah.
Now,
hopefully I can do that.
I think you can. I think you have.
Oh, thank you.
I think your modern retelling of Telltale Heart does that.
Thank you.
I felt for those guys. I don't want to reveal too much of that story, but there was a family that they had some drama, they had some issues, but it was believable.
Yes.
All right. So what are your thoughts on horror fiction, like the way, or I guess let me put it this way: problems with horror, with writing horror. Have you had any problems?
I haven't personally, and you hear stories all the time, scrolling Facebook and stuff, though.
Right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very common, it seems, for me anyway. Maybe it's people I follow or whatever. Do you hear about people who are having issues with like Amazon rejecting works due to like language or content?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, it's like you could. It's like you should be able to just write and express and have it the way you want it, but apparently you can't. From what I understand, it sounds like with Amazon, with KDP, when you publish through them, and not just them, by the way, Barnes & Noble as well. They have their own Barnes & Noble Press thing now.
Right.
That there is a screening process for certain categories. And if certain words are used, certain phrases, they will just reject it. You know,
Like in the work itself?
they will reject the book, and they will tell you that it's due to content guidelines. They won't be any
Right.
more specific than that. They won't tell you what page or what phrase or anything like that. They're afraid to do so. I think because of maybe they're afraid that, oh, so you told me it was this, I corrected it, and now it's still rejected. You know.
Yeah, that's sad. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it happens. It seems to happen mostly with like erotic when you start blending into the erotica elements. Like
Right.
if you have something on KDP that's an erotica, in that category, you cannot have the word rape anywhere. You cannot say that word. I mean, you can't say that. You have to be very careful about making it very clear what the age of the fictional characters are, because it's like
Right.
the fictional characters are I guess they're bound to the same laws that everyone else is. I didn't know this. I didn't know that fictional characters get the same
Yeah.
rights, right? Now
Right.
keep in
It's like
mind,
they're not real people.
right? We're talking about words on a page, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, I kind of get the argument, kind of, sort of, but it's like because people get off to that stuff, erotica stuff, and like, okay, you're entertaining fantasies, but horror though, horror. If you have like story that has
Right.
kids or dogs in it, like we talked about earlier on the show, some people do freak out
Right.
about that. All right, some people do.
Right.
And in that point, it doesn't seem to be just Amazon rejecting. It's also publishers, I'm not saying any names, that will absolutely refuse to touch anything that has kids involved or extreme
Right.
violence or sexual assault or things like that.
Yeah. I guess it's their company. They can do it.
Yeah, it's their company. They can.
They don't want to go there. Then
I mean, I could see the side of the argument. Like, you know, if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. Now, of course, I would hope that there would be publishers that would be willing to. Just because,
right.
I mean, the big names have done it before. Like King has some questionable stuff. Hell, in the book they have kids running train on, what's her name? Bev? What was her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have kids dying. You have animals dying. I mean, you have horrible things happening in a lot of horror books and thrillers and stuff.
Right. So if Stephen King wasn't Stephen King,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to publish Pet Sematary today, do you think it would get rejected?
You know, okay, if he wasn't Stephen King and how things are now, and he tried to get published, he probably, well, the way traditional publishers work now, he probably would be rejected. I mean, it's pretty tight, right? It's hard to get in.
Right?
It's
Right.
really hard. Hell, the way things are now, they would say, "I'm sorry, is this a white character? Like, what is the ethnicity of the main character? What does that matter? Okay, it's a minority. They're all minorities. Everyone's a minority in this character or in this book. You know, but
Yep.
But even on the subject of just this kid dying and coming back to life, and then having to, you know, deal with that. Actually, he doesn't kill his
Right.
kid when he comes back, right? They kill him, or they all become one, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how it ends. They all become
Yeah.
one family of the dead. They pretty much become like the Addams family, I guess. Is that how that works?
There you go. Yeah.
They're all one
I
dead
think
family.
so.
Nice.
Right.
But that's a good question. If Stephen King, I'd tell you who wouldn't be published now. Bret Easton Ellis. What in American Psycho? There was a scene where he kills a kid. He flat out just kills I think he's a 5-year-old. And
oh my God.
Yeah. He just saw him at a zoo and he killed him and he put his body in a trash bin. It's horrible. But it's like that would not happen again. You know?
Right.
Unless there's a publisher that has the balls to do it. And it's like, there's a reason why you had that scene. And the reason why you had that scene it sounds horrible, right?
Right.
I mean, what would you think? Okay, if you were tasked to write that, not that you would, but if you were tasked to write that, how would you justify that scene? Like, what would you make the main character do other than kill himself afterwards?
Right. You just have to make him relatable, I guess.
Okay.
Can you relate to that?
Well, in American Psycho, Patrick Bateman's like he's a psychopath, right? He doesn't feel emotions,
right?
Really. That's his whole thing. All right. Okay. But in that moment is the first real moment in the book where he actually feels something close to human emotion. But it's not really, I don't think you call it human emotion. He regrets it, but for the wrong reasons. He regrets it because everyone else he killed, he was taking their life and taking their history, taking everything from them. But this kid had nothing. He was brand new to the world still. So,
right.
So it's kind of a piss poor. It's the rationality of a psychopath, right? And he's not not a character you like anyway. He's a character you hate. And that's the other thing about writing compelling characters. So. It's some people they write, and a lot of people they write characters that are just despicable that you're gonna hate. Like, wasn't Jack Torrance?
Yes.
In The Shining, right?
Right.
He wasn't really likable. I mean, right?
No. Yeah. He had his flaws.
Yeah, he had his flaws. A little bit of an alcoholic,
but he was real.
He's very real, especially if you've ever dealt with someone who's an alcoholic and demented and kind of going through things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And David Harrington in the chat brought up, publishers tend to shy away from stories of children and animals are harmed or killed. That is true. That is very true. That's one thing we're definitely talking about right now. That's one of the problems you're going to have writing horror, is if you do one of those stories that has those themes, it's like, well, you better find a publisher that'll take it or self-publish. Those are your two options on that.
But then Amazon's going to flag it.
Maybe. Like, most of the rejection claims I've seen seem to have a erotica bent to it.
Okay.
They seem to. Now, if there's I've heard some stories, I haven't confirmed it, so I can't say it 100%, but apparently Barnes & Noble Press, I hear that they're going to be screening a little bit intense, but I'm not sure. But I do know, speaking of Barnes & Noble, that since they've been acquired by a hedge firm manager, they're changing how they're doing their store. Like, the books in their store, like, they're downsizing, reshaping everything. They're cutting the fat. The books, the genres that aren't selling, they're not going to carry them. So, you know what that means.
Oh, jeez.
You know what that means.
Yeah.
It's going to be self-help books. It's going to be mainstream books. It's not going to be...
Right.
It's not going to be brand
There's
new
no horror there.
horror authors. No, King might still be in. Because King kind of...
Right.
He branches out. He gets out of that box of horror.
Right.
But with the way things are now, I'll tell you who definitely would not be published. Jack Ketchum. Jack Ketchum's Girl Next Door, which is based on a real story, right? That actually happened.
Right.
That would not be published.
Nope.
Which is horrible. Publishers are afraid to do that. I think my opinion of that is they're afraid of the outrage and how it makes them look. But
Yeah.
You navigate that the best you can. I mean, people are so quick to do like try to entice like Twitter or Facebook to get people canceled.
Yeah. I think it should be judged on how it's written,
Yeah,
not just the material itself.
that makes sense. The context of it all, of it all, not just like
Right.
that one paragraph or the chapter even. Like if it's a
Right. Absolutely.
300-page manuscript, okay, well, what's the whole context here? Why is that scene happening? Okay, is it just another way for the writer to show the readers that this character is fucked up? Okay,
Right.
I mean, you could do that in all sorts of ways. And my thing is,
Yes, you can.
if readers are triggered, in that word, if readers are triggered by what a character is doing, a character that they're supposed to despise anyway, then to me, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a good thing. You're not supposed to like the character,
Right.
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it'll make me want to keep reading to see if he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, right. That's part of the reason why I watched The Sopranos. Okay, what's Tony Soprano? What's going to happen to this guy? Come on now, right?
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, it's a true issue, man. It's an issue that, like I said, that's more on the publishers choosing whether or not they want to do. The other problem I've noticed with horror, and this is not just horror, it's every genre. When it comes to self-publishing, there's a lot of writers and authors still that will shun that, be like, no, don't do that, don't do that. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Got any thoughts on that?
I don't get that one either. Yeah, if you're going to self-publish, 100% money's yours.
Right. That is a pro. You do cut out the middleman.
Right?
And
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say this, as a publisher, what we are is essentially the middleman. That we do a few tasks for you. You know, if you cut us out, okay, you get more money, but you have to, you don't have a helping hand to help kind of blast out the book and help promote it. Even if it's just
Right.
maybe if you just see it as just a little bit of help, it's still there. It's still,
Yep.
they're at your benefit. Yeah, I mean, I hear this.
For the most part. Yeah.
Have a lot of authors that come on the show, right? Some that say they self-publish. Some that will go, oh, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. It's the worst thing you can ever do. Even now. Like, I thought we moved past
I would
that.
self-publish.
You would?
I would. I've considered it.
I mean,
but
it's definitely an avenue to consider. And it
Right.
can work for some. I mean, you have established names like Jeff Strand who have made it work for him. I mean, he's a 4-time nominee of Bram Stoker. So, and he
Right.
self-published, and it's working for him. You have Ray Garton, who he wrote Live Girls and The Darklings.
right.
Okay, and he's gone that route, and it's worked for him. So it's possible. You can do it, and you can make it work for you. Hell, we had I can't, their names escape me at the moment, but we had a couple that were on, and they both self-publish, but they work harder than I've heard. I mean, they make sure they have material out every month on the same day every month.
Oh wow.
They consistently are writing and churning out material and putting out there. They have like the KDP thing down to a science. They were telling me things. I'm like, well, I've never heard about this before. That's crazy. So apparently on KDP, if you publish, if you keep it consistent monthly on a certain day, apparently the algorithm will help boost you, help promote you.
Oh, okay.
I did not know that. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
So, like, if Terror Tract keeps on doing like a monthly easing, as it sounds, and they keep on releasing on a very consistent way, then maybe they'll benefit from that. Look at that. But you have to make it work for you.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, but at the same time, I kind of get where people complain about it, right? I mean, there's people who self-publish and they make it look like they do a horrible job at it. Whatever. I mean, the cover's horrible. They don't get the right editor or something. They don't really take the time to make the book something that's worthwhile, worth reading.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody can just go out and do it.
Yeah, and that's the complaint. Anybody can publish. Anybody can do it. You're right. Anybody can.
Right.
It's as easy as starting up a blog. Okay.
Right.
But I think they see it like a garden with a bunch of weeds or something, and like all those weeds will like mask everything else. But we're talking about a digital archive, and it doesn't work that way. If you publish something and no one knows about it, then that's just it. They don't even see it. It doesn't even exist.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. You got any other thoughts about problems with horror, with writing horror?
I don't think so. Because I never had any problems yet, so knock on wood.
Yeah, I had some outrage my way before. Like
Really?
when Dead Man's Tome was releasing the Cycle Holiday anthology, the Christmas themed anthology that we had.
Yes.
Some people on Twitter, one person actually, because that's how it works. One person was outraged by the word psycho because I'm ableist, because psycho is ableist language or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that had me scratching my head. Of course.
Yeah.
I kind of fed into it, knowing what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay. So I guess American Psycho or the movie Psycho, that's all ableist. And she's all like, yeah, that's all ableist. I'm like, okay. Then I'm the most ableist person. And it's like, I even told her, the kid who's in the wheelchair, I told the artist to put that kid in that wheelchair. How do you think about it? How do you think about it now? she freaked out. I'm gonna put the cover on the screen too. I need to find it. But I knew what I was doing there. I was kind of stirring the pot, stirring some shit. You know, if you get the outrage machine in your favor, or well, not really in your favor, but if you get people outraged, people start clicking, start looking at it. Oh, this woman's freaking out because there's this Cycle Holiday cover. What is it? What is this Cycle Holiday cover? Let's take a look at it. This one right here. You have Santa with a chainsaw, with blood all over his face. You have kids running away from him. It's crazy.
That's how I picture Santa.
Yeah, right?
Right? Yeah, I think so.
I'd be too. A bunch of kids were pissing on my lap too. Fuck. Man. Just horrible. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's the only blowback I've had. Have you had any, I guess, outrage feedback or anything?
No.
Oh, you've been good.
Nothing like that.
You're good.
Yeah.
Then. You're good. You hang out with the right people. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, I think so.
But speaking of feedback, what sort of feedback do you get on your writing, on your work?
Well, I've gotten a couple 5-star reviews for my first book so far on Amazon.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
Right?
5-star reviews, they help out, man. And getting that sort of feedback
Right?
and that love, that's good. It'll go a long way. Now, what about this? Do you have any thoughts about the about situations with the horror community? The horror writing community. And that phrase, that word community, just sounds so like, what are we holding hands here?
Right.
Having powwows together. Oh, that might be the wrong phrase now. Okay. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
Having group sessions, group meetings,
I thought that's what we were doing here.
right? You know? Yeah. Well, that's what this show is about. It's about, bringing people on the show and talk about who they are, what they do, and just having a good time.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone's invited.
Introducing
You know?
people.
Introducing new people. And there's people on the show that maybe their politics I wouldn't agree with. But you know what? We don't even get into that. Because that's not what the show is about.
Right.
And honestly, the way I approach my publishing too is I don't give a damn about your politics. It could be one way or the other. That's okay.
Absolutely.
And that's something I forgot to touch on about some issues with publishing lately is that some people even say, hey, if you lean this way or that way, and you know what I'm saying, right or left, whatever, then we're not even going to take you.
Right.
It's like, how are you even doing that? Are you screening their social media? Are you doing background checks on people? Like, what are you doing? That's way too much work. Maybe I'm lazy.
Right.
Maybe I'm just like hands-off approach. But I'm just like, man, you come my way. I read your stuff. I like it. I like who you are. From our limited interactions, I like who you are. Okay, I can work with you. I won't want to do a background check.
Right.
Hell,
Yeah. That's too much.
Right? I would think so. But horror writing community, what I'm talking about is there's always some drama. There's always some drama.
Always.
Always. Cannot be avoided, it seems. Well, let's see. Something that's come to light with the whole ChiZine scenario situation. Have you heard about that?
I've caught bits and pieces.
Okay. What do you know?
I've heard that they were not paying their writers.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So
Something like that.
the fact of the situation, not playing it up, no hyperbolics or whatever. Ed Burke, I believe I said his name right, has complained that he wasn't being paid. And he wasn't being paid on time. And he said he complained about that multiple times to the people at ChiZine, and they've either dismissed him, they laughed in his face about it. Okay. Oh. Now, he also complained that he was being bullied. In the way he described the bullying was like he would hear that they were talking mess about him to other people. It didn't sound like directly to him, but just creating like, hey, Ed Burke is this and that and the other. Hey, just creating an environment that is not going to be very welcoming. Okay. All right. So he's complaining about that. Now, ChiZine claims they have paid him after this. And Ed Burke said, yeah, they paid me, but I'm still owed some money. They haven't paid me all. Okay. All right. Now, there's some other accusations that because whenever someone comes forward about this against a publisher, if there's any other authors that have grievances, they may come out with their own, and they might be legit. They might just be kind of like, I think there's some miscommunication here. I don't. This sounds like just a grievance that you guys have to work out. I don't know, but
right.
But the payment thing, all I can say about that, really, I said before in a video earlier, is that as a publisher, you got to pay. If you don't pay, you can't play.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about that? Is that fair?
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to make money.
You got to make money.
Writers got to get paid.
And the way I see it is, look, if you're not going to pay the people who are creating your content, because publishers, you're not creating it. I'm not creating it.
Right.
I'm putting it out there. I might help with the editing. Might help with the cover on there. Might help the process along. Definitely helping the process along. But it's but I'm not the sole creator, right? You gotta pay the people who are creating the content. It goes with every business, whether it be writing, whether it be YouTube, whether it be music, you have to pay them. Otherwise, they're
Right.
just going to be disgruntled and not satisfied and complaining about you and talking to other authors about it, right?
Right. Yeah, you're not going to get that away with that in any other business, any other job.
No,
No one's going to work for you.
right? Go work for Taco Bell, and if they don't pay you, then I'm not working here. What the fuck?
Right.
Greasy ass tacos.
Absolutely.
Great F meat tacos. Jesus. Man, yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
In every profession. So, and about that, I don't know too much about ChiZine. Do you know anything about ChiZine?
Nope.
Yeah, neither do I. Apparently, they've been around for a while. They're established, I guess.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm hoping they just handle the situation and make good on it,
Right.
Just do
And
that.
I'd prefer it done in private too, not over
Yeah.
Facebook and
Yeah, in private.
try to deal with it behind closed doors.
Like, honestly, and this might be taken in another way, I do feel that the way Ed Burke handled it, going out front in public like this, it puts the dirty laundry out there, and it's like, I don't know the full context. Honestly, if I'm going to be full honest here, I don't even know what the full facts are. Like, we're not given the receipts, right? It's not like we could see the
Right.
transactions of how much money came in, what was paid, and all that stuff. So we're just going on people's word. Okay.
Yeah.
I wondered if maybe could have handled that behind the scenes through HWA or writer beware, something. It
Right.
sounds weird, but but it's out there. It's
Yeah.
out there. People know about it, so just handle it. Take care of it,
Yes.
and then all will be well. As someone who's dealt with some personal drama getting out, guess what? You handle it. You you be honest about it. You be upfront about it, and you make good on it. And guess what? It all goes back to how it should. It's okay.
Yep. Will work out in the end.
Let's see. Some other issues I noticed. I don't know about you. Have you ever had an issue where you wanted to cancel or remove a contract from a publisher?
No, I have not.
Okay. Oh, and Becky told me that he did go to the HWA. Okay. And I guess they didn't do anything. I don't know what the full context is there either. And they're pretty
Right.
close-lipped about what they do, how they handle, and as they should be. A lot of these things should be handled behind the
Right.
scenes. Hey, Cool Tactic, what's going on? What's going on? Right now, we're talking about issues in the horror writing community. Ooh, God, it's like a small bubble, but man, there's issues. It's kind of embarrassing. But so I hear things. I'm not gonna say names, whatever. But I've heard these stories before where authors may feel disgruntled with a publisher due to, let's say, a poor cover or editing or formatting, or let's say communication, or even bad reviews. I even had authors tell me that they want to pull from a publisher because of bad reviews they've received.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. But I can tell you it doesn't work because the problem is the publisher doesn't have to honor that. Like, if you have a contract with a publisher, right? You sign the contract, even if it was a handshake, even if it was just a word of mouth, and there's other people that could validate that agreement was made, right? You can't just say, "Oh, well,
Yep.
no, I want to end it." It's like, what were the terms? Like, what did y'all agree on? What was discussed? But here we're talking about a written contract, so you could read it, you could see what's going on there. If there's not a
Yeah.
termination clause, you really can't. you really can't pull out. Now you can try to take them to court, and if you do, it's cost you a shit ton of money.
Right.
Now the attorney will probably tell you, "Oh yeah, we have a case here," and take your money. But the judge
Yep.
is going to see a signed contract. You guys agreed on this. What's the problem? Work it out. Go to mediation. Do something. Talk
Right.
about it. You know, that
Right.
happens. That happens. And yeah, so that's what happens. It's just annoying, and I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of issues where maybe authors don't want to work with publishers because of miscommunication. It's not going a certain way. They wanted something else to happen, and maybe the publisher's horrible at communication as well. That happens too. When people get
Yes.
pissy and get mean, it's bad, right? Just
Right.
and I tell you what, the emails and the text exchange does not help. Maybe pick up the phone or go on Skype or something and actually talk about it.
Right.
What's going on here? Like, because apparently you're perceiving my words as something crazy, and I didn't even mean it that way. You know?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to get off my chest as far as like problems with the horror writing community. But hey, if you're listening, if you know of any other problems, feel free to bring it up. But Dusty Davis, let me ask you something. So what is your favorite horror movie?
Horror movie? Probably the Friday the 13th series.
Oh yeah, all right.
I just rewatched the whole. Yeah, I just rewatched the whole series right before Halloween.
And that was the series your mom got you into, huh?
It was.
Right.
It's not scary anymore though.
Oh no, but the first one actually seems pretty fitting for a mom to have her son watch with her, because
Right.
it's going back to it now. Would it be safe to describe it as a revenge flick?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, all Miss I was gonna say Miss Myers, the wrong person. Miss Voorhees. All Miss Voorhees wanted to do was to kill every college person, every camp counselor. Get revenge for her son's death.
Right. As any mother would do, I think.
Right? You take the law into your own hands. Just start stabbing people.
Right.
Man. But that's a good one. That's a good one. So, but what is your favorite Friday the 13th?
It'd be the 7th one, the one with the girl has the telekinesis powers and all that.
Oh, yeah. That was good. That's a good one
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
So it wasn't Jason Goes to Space. Was it
No, that was Jason X.
Jason X?
Jason X.
It had a cool death scene in that one.
I think that was the worst one.
Oh.
Which one?
Oh, but it had a great death scene. The one where the chick, she
Which-
like froze up and like she was shattered.
And
That was-
he smashed her face.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
It might be the worst one story-wise, but if you watch any Jason, like, murder, like, compilation, it's going to be, that scene is going to be one of the top ones. Okay.
Yeah. I agree with that one.
I think that one, they were like, who cares about the fucking story? We just need to have some awesome kill scenes. That's it. That's the money shot.
Right.
All right?
Right.
They're treating horror. They're treating Friday the 13th like they would treat porn. Okay, we can have, the story doesn't give a, we don't. No one cares about the fucking story. We gotta fuck Jason in space, but we need a badass fucking kill scene here. Okay.
Yep.
Jason as a robot. As a robot is awesome.
Oh.
But it sucks about the. And I don't know. I'm not aware of any updates on this, but the Jason lawsuit. Do you know anything about that?
Wasn't it they couldn't decide who owned it or something like that?
Yeah, it kind of ended there. They couldn't decide
Yeah,
who owned it, and they were supposed to like follow up on that, but I haven't heard anything
right.
since. And I don't read legal
Nah,
documents. I just watch Nick Rekieta's stream, and he reads it for me. And he's too busy
there
reading
you go.
some about some Vic Mignogna guy. We're done with that. Come on, read some other stuff. No,
Right?
um, man, I just it sucks because it holds the whole franchise hostage.
It does.
They
Of course, you got the people complaining that they never do anything new anyway. So
No, but that's a franchise people want. They want to. It also affected the Friday the 13th video game, which was a good
yes,
concept and a good game. It's bugged, and it's dead now because they can't do anything with it. But
right.
they have a new one. Was it called shit? What was it called? Dead by Daylight. It's essentially the same thing.
Okay.
They have like
Yeah.
Michael Myers, and they have like a Jason-esque
Right.
sort of guy there. I gotta play that.
Yeah.
I gotta live stream that game. You would think I would have already
There
done
you
that
go.
with this channel. So, Mr. Davis,
Yeah.
have you had a paranormal
Yes.
experience? Have you ever had one?
I have not personally, but my wife. I tell you, we went to Salem, Massachusetts over Halloween,
Okay.
and since we got back, she's been having weird stuff happen to her. Like we were Christmas shopping the other day,
All right.
and she felt her hair get pulled. And then it happened later that night in bed. And it wasn't me
Oh,
that time.
okay. It
And
wasn't
then
you. So was there someone else in the bed with you?
there,
With
there
y'all?
was nowhere near,
Okay.
nobody. And then I have a shelf of like little Funko Pop figures.
Okay.
And one of them flew across the room and landed on the desk on the other side of the room in front of her.
Which figure?
It was a Wonder Woman. So I said she flew in her invisible plane, but
Oh man. Okay. Okay. I have a theory here. It sounds like
okay,
you
I'm
might
ready.
have. Okay, man. I like you, but it sounds like you might have been cucked. You might have been cucked by Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman came in there, pulled on your wife's hair for something. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think my wife would have complained about that. I wouldn't complain about that either. Be like, okay, wake me up too. We could all be in this.
Right?
Oh. Yeah, that's cool. Cool story
Right.
though.
Yeah, just within the last couple weeks it's happened. So
Hair pulling. So, she just felt her hair being pulled.
like I saw her head go back, like it was yanked.
Oh. Okay. I need some details. You could be discreet if you want to hide some details. That's okay. But what were y'all doing in the bed? Like, so was she just laying there?
We sitting up against the headboard, just watching TV.
Okay.
No one around. Yeah, I was sitting next to her, but that was the second time. The first time happened in a store. We were just shopping, looking at stuff, and I saw her head go back, like her hair was yanked, and she, squealed a little bit, like because it hurt.
Okay.
I'm like, what's your problem? She's like, someone just pulled my hair.
Maybe you'll have like a little Chucky doll running around. That could be it. You have like a
Maybe.
little Chucky doll running around that's pulling people's hair. And maybe Chucky,
I hope
like
not.
Chucky threw the Wonder Woman Funko Pop doll in there to have like a threesome with the Wonder Woman. And, I mean, how does that? I'm just trying to make sense of this, man. You got a problem. A big cockroach
I
that's
think
pulling hair.
so.
Rats that are grabbing the hair.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta share something. I gotta share a secret. The other day,
Uh-oh.
I felt something that was real bizarre. I was in bed with my wife, and all of a sudden, I felt like this thing just run across my forehead. And for some reason, I thought it was like a rat. Oh, hey, David Stoner, how's it going? Hey, David, I want to touch base about your channel. I know you cover like more like, I think more cannabis related stuff, whatever. I want to ask you some questions later on. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I felt something just run across my forehead. I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was a rat or something. It felt like a rat paw. Not like I ever felt a rat paw in my head before. It's just like I felt something run across. What was it? I have no idea. But whatever it was, it freaked me out. It freaked me the fuck out. I got up. I was like spooked. Turned the light. My wife was like, "What the hell? What's going on?" It's like, I don't know. Something ran across my head. I don't know. I still have no idea. I don't know what happened.
That's creepy.
I mean, it could have been a rat. We don't have rats in this house. I hope not. If so, what the fuck is the cat doing?
Right? Put it to work.
Man. Well, Mr. David Stoner, you have anything you want to plug before we wrap up the show? Wait, are you still here?
Hello?
Oh, are you still there? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to plug before we wrap up the show? Wait, what is going on here? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, David, are you still there? I can hear him. He can't hear me. Great timing. David, you still there? I guess not. Well, that's a bummer. Let me call him again. I'm gonna call him again. Just to wrap up the show. Come on, I can do that. Dude. Hey, David, you still there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I've been hearing you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to plug before we wrap up the show?
Check out Terror Tract Publishing, the e-zines. I'm in the first 2 issues.
Okay.
And my Labyrinth of Horrors collection, available on Amazon now. And my collection, Torn from Nightmares, will come out January 5th next year from Terror Tract. That's about it right now.
All right, that sounds great. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, please press the like button, share, and subscribe. Talk about horror doesn't really help grow this channel, but y'all guys can. That'd be great. And I stream just about every night, playing video games and talk about whatever. So, anyway, thank y'all so much. Y'all take it easy.